What is going on, Guardians? Welcome back to the Fireteam Osiris Podcast. My name is Billabing, and on this podcast we have Quodron.
Hey guys.
Lighthouse.
Hola.
Fax.
Hello.
And our special guest, Sean Bartley.
Hey guys.
So this week what happened was Bungie did a live stream on Twitch where they explained and went over all the new things that are going to be in the tower in the upcoming Taken King. Are we going to call it the new game or the expansion?
I don't know. It's an expansion. No. It's a DLC. I would say it's a whole new world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this whole new world of the Taken King. So does anyone want to start off the conversation with anything that they thought was pretty interesting in the Twitch stream?
I got this. Okay. So when I first started watching the live stream, I was already hooked. Like, they had so many interesting things, like, right off the bat. They had their brand new vendor gear and everything in their character on them themselves. All three of them were all three different factions: Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, and Future War Couple. So, and their weapons and everything was amazing. Like, the first thing that I saw when they opened up their inventory was the light level and the strength and everything like that. And I was just like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I can't wait for that to happen. And then, like, after that point, it was just like hype.
But
and then I saw the whole, like, Destiny, or the kiosk, I mean, for the, like, the exotic blueprints and such, like that. And I didn't see Galahorn on there, and to be honest, I couldn't have been happier, because we don't need to be, like, I don't know, year 7 and we're still using a year 1 weapon, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to be still melting bosses with that kind of gun anymore, you know? We got better guns coming up and stuff like that, you know? It's just not needed. They even redid a lot of the skins for the weapons. Like, the Suros regime, I noticed that it got, like, a black kind of coat to it, like an upgrade, and then
that looks
I noticed,
so cool.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing, guys, because, like, you have to realize, like, it didn't just get a skin; it got, like, a whole new
makeover. Yeah, what's the perk? Like, the longer it's fired, it, like, speeds up. Like Thunderlord,
it's basically
right?
the
well, yeah,
it's
you
the
can actually change the speed. Like, you know how it was
focused fire, and then it's the new one. You can change it between them, like focused fire, if you didn't know. It's shoots slower when you aim down your sights, and
and now you have the choice.
Yeah, I'll choose the second one, of course, because I don't like the focus perk or focus fire. It was cool for a while, and then I just got annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, when I got Suros Regime from Zerk, I'm one of those guys. I didn't choose the focus fire until I had probably 5 other upgrades for it, and it was practically necessary to get.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have to experiment with it. Yeah,
it'll be pretty fun.
All right, guys, should we just jump out in the whole, like, podcast and just talk about vault space?
Yes.
Since Cosmo wanted to talk about that the whole time.
Oh my lord. Okay, now
wait. The vault space, guys.
Now, like, before, like, we get, like, into this, like, I go on the forums every now and then, but people are complaining, like, how come they didn't add more vault space beforehand? Like, I thought that there was, like, a problem with, like, last gen. And, like, my only answer to this is, like, is it because, like, the whole new layout? Because wasn't the issue that they couldn't have so many items on one screen?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. Like, I want to know, but, like, I'm not sure. It's great that we have, like, more vault space.
Oh, yeah, I'm not complaining.
I'm not sure, like, how that happened and why it happened, but we have it.
I can kind of see the angle that you're coming from, though, how they blamed it on last gen for not being able to support more vault space, but somehow they're making vault space even more accessible. Here's my personal take on it, and I'm going to make it brief. How it is now is that whenever Bungie had an old idea of increasing vault space, and what their idea meant, like, literally expanding the grid, they didn't do it in pages. I think if they do it in pages, each page has a different, like, load time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
so it might be easier on last gen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in the same way that in like all of us are 360 users, Sean. So like when we open our menu, say we're doing Prison of Elders and we want to use a synth. We'll open it and it'll take like 13 seconds for the thing to actually load, and it'll just be the loading circle thing for like that whole time. And I don't know why my dad has the conspiracy theory that Bungie's trying to get people to upgrade to next gen, and they do it on purpose, or it might just be that last gen just doesn't support it as well.
Well, honestly though, like who doesn't want to upgrade to next gen?
Well, yeah.
But
We all do, but it's just
like,
the whole fun
I'll
situation.
be honest, like I think that's a legit option for Bungie, because you have to look at like most games. Like I just got done playing Black Ops 3 and it looks beautiful, and I know for a fact that the graphics and everything else is not a weird like thing. Like they're obviously making games for next gen.
Yeah.
And I think about next gen as current gen, because
it is, yeah. It's time to move on.
yeah, last gen is when you're playing on 360.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion, and some people argue, but that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I just thought I wanted to hear you guys' take on this with the whole new light level system going on.
Oh.
Me personally, I think this is really cool. Like,
Damn.
light level, it kind of restricted you to certain like armor you wear and stuff, and they kind of changed that in House of Wolves with Etheric Light, but like that got old pretty fast. I don't know, but I really like this new light level system. It's kind of like your overall average of how good you are, and I like that.
Yeah. I also think though that like I like the way that it's like I like the way that in the past like it's been RNG based. Like I kind of liked how you had to like grind in the game for it. I mean, a lot of people don't like grinding, but I don't know. I seem to like it, I guess. But it just seemed better to do it that way, because I don't like because it makes the people who really really want to work for it end up being the ones who actually are able to attain it, and the people who and now people are just going to be able to run like missions over and over again to be able to upgrade the.
But why is that a problem?
Well, no, I'm not saying it is a problem, but I'm just saying like I feel like personally, like or having experienced the game, I feel like I was able to earn light level 32 and then 34 because of how long I played the raids, and how much like time I put into it and things like that, and like not grinding, but playing Trials of Osiris and Prison of Elders for Etheric Light and all that kind of it puts me in like a kind of like I feel like proud of having done it, and now I feel like people who are just going to be able to not have to work as hard to get to higher levels. It just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be as good of a way, at least in my mind. I mean, of course, everyone else has their opinion, but that's mine.
Right. And, like, I was going to ask you, also, like, why is that a problem? That, like, everyone can't have a chance to, be max level. The way that I look at, like, every situation now in the Taken King is that you can be max level, but you can still have to grind for that, like, to feel powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's super important for a game like Destiny that has, like, massive RPG elements, and, like, they're finally doing it. Like, now we have RPG elements, and I think it's super important that now we can grind for different things.
Do we know what the max light is yet?
Not light level, but I know the max level cap is 40. But but the light level, I'm not sure.
Light level.
And I'd assume it'll be
I don't
around
think light level,
let's see. Wait, all the in the Twitch stream, all the all the legendary pieces of armor and weapons, I believe, were 180 light, and they take your light level ends up being the average of all of your
Right.
gear. So I think exotics may have a higher light level, so they may be like 200 or something. So that might make your overall light level like 183 or something.
That's awesome. That means that, you know, like, everyone that, like, is 40, right? So we're all going to be 40. And it's going to be a lot different for everyone that, like, has a different light level. Like, at a certain point, it's going to be harder to get to that max light level.
And you want to know what I really like about how this new light system works? Based on, like, how the numbers were, like, when they open up their inventory or whatever, it's not like a 180, 190. It's like 181, 187, 193. It's, like, all over the place. So, like, you might be, like, patrolling with someone or, like, your teammate or whatever, and he might be, like, 8 light higher than you. And you're like, what does he have that's better? Then you can look. But just that small difference, it seems like light isn't going to make too much. Like, if you're only, like, 3 light away, it's not going to make too much of a difference. But, like, it's still nice seeing different numbers, not, like, everyone's, like, the same. Because that's kind of, I don't know, it's, like, boring almost. Like, ooh, everyone's the same level and everything. These is, like, a small, unique thing to each little person.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you guys feel about all these new quests coming?
I'm really hyped for the whole hunter subclass quest.
Oh yeah.
I'm confused about the quests though. Are they just normal like missions, or how do they work?
We don't really know yet, but I feel like
Well,
it might
we
not
do.
be.
Actually.
You do? Go ahead.
Please
Go
explain.
ahead.
Well, no, the quests are, you know, like, they are something that you do for, like, many different things. Like, you can do a quest for the gunsmith. You can do that for the Vanguard and whatever else. Like,
So are you saying it's like a mix between like a mission and a bounty, or like how does it work?
Yeah, I think.
Well,
I think he was asking.
but there's also, like, the quests that you can do can earn you, like, higher rewards than everything else. Like, for instance, I remember watching the live stream and seeing that, like, if you did a quest for the Crucible, you could do once. I don't know how exactly it works, but
Are you talking about the, like, 5 different quests and then there's, like, that one last reward or whatever?
Like, different quests per week, and then
That
you
looks
get
cool.
a legendary reward. Like, that's weird. Well, it's not weird. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. That's what we've been looking for in this game, guys. Like, that's, like, doing everything every week, every day, like, but, like, we're looking for, like, grind. And you guys, like, it's just not raids. It's just not, like, you know, nightfalls and all this stuff. But, like, it's a weekly, it's a daily, like, grind. It's what we look for in Destiny. And I'm really excited to see, like, more things to do than just, like, the normal stuff that we have.
Here's the only thing I just hope these quests are not. Like, I have a strong, like, hope that these quests are going to be, like, each little mission, like, ooh, that you might have to go to this strike using this weapon. Like, you know, something different. I just hope it's not, like, go to Earth and do 5 patrol missions. Like, you know what I mean? I hope it's something unique and new.
Yeah.
Every time.
But it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying
Did you guys
I can't wait
watch
for
the live
that.
stream? Like, it is. Like,
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up some
when you go
screenshots.
to, like, the Crucible, right? You have all these Crucible bounties that you do, and you go to the Crucible, and you don't just, like, kill 5 people in the Crucible and come home. Like, there's so much more. Like, you have to do 5 of them, like, together to get, like, another bounty, and then when you turn in that another bounty, you get, like, a bigger reward. Like,
That's honestly so cool.
I saw that one of the ways it works, and this is for the people who didn't watch the stream. You have these bounties from Lord Shax in the tower. I almost called him Fax because I'm so used to saying Fax. But so what happens is he has 5 bounties that, or maybe they're like quests. I think they're quests, and they're
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and there's 4 of them that are actual like mission type things, like do this, and they're not things like kill or like kill 15 guardians with headshots. It's like kill 8 guardians with a solar weapon, or it's things like that. But then that's only 4 of them. The 5th one is simply complete, or is it the 6th one? It's either 5th or 6th. Is complete complete all of Shax's previous bounties in 1 week, and it's like you get Nightfall level rewards for doing so, for being able to turn in that 6th bounty.
Exotic, possibly. Yeah.
All right, so I pulled up this screenshot of like a quest, for example, and it says high value targets. It looks like a Vanguard quest, and it shows Cosmodrome targets, Moon targets, Venus targets, Mars targets, and Dreadnought targets. And then it says you will get a heavy weapon upgrade, legendary marks, experience, and reputation. So how about all these ghost shells actually being very important?
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't wait for those, actually. The Seeker is going to start selling the specific ones that can give you, like, boosts to, getting resources on the Cosmodrome or the Moon, etc. And personally,
more glamour.
That would be dandy. Or, either way, I think we'll all be happy with them. I mean, I'm just going to get them all because, why not?
Well, I'm interested in them because what we saw was only what the speaker actually has in inventory. So I'm interested in what amazing things could be dropping from Nightfalls or from these final packages from Shax, or like some of these higher level reward systems.
Yeah, that was like, really kind of like
point.
What bonuses could come from these? Like what other things are possible? It's crazy.
I wonder what, because right now there's common ghosts, uncommon. I don't know if there's uncommon, but could there be an exotic ghost? Do you guys think that?
Sure.
I think
possibly.
So.
Probably, actually.
Why not?
It seems like they'd put at least one.
I think we have to actually sit here and realize that in the Taken King in year 2, like, we don't know what's possible.
That's very true.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, like, I have no idea, like, when I'm going to go out in a patrol, or when I'm going to go out and, like, do a nightfall. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know. In year 1, I kind of knew in the whole situation, but year 2, like, I don't know. All of this is so incredible to me. And I think that they're expanding this game to a high potential that we all have no idea what's going to happen. During year 2.
The unpredictability that's coming too. Just like, I don't know if you guys heard, but like in certain strikes, like they said there might be a time where, say for example in the Archon pre-strike, when you're defending the door against 3 waves of Vex, that might be 3 waves of Fallen coming at you. Like they're changing stuff like that within a strike. What if that's like in a raid where something might change the next time you go in a raid? Like they're adding more unpredictability.
They can do that.
They can.
We see that right now, and we see that in year 2 that they can change the entire dynamic of the entire game, and that makes me incredibly happy because this is the game that I love. We all love this game,
and so do millions of other people.
Right, and it makes me so happy to see that this can change, and we can keep playing and be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think it's time that we tackle the big thing going on right now.
What is that?
What's the big thing?
Yeah,
exotic blueprints and upgrading only certain exotics to year 2.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
The big dilemma.
So, Brock, Lighthouse, Brock, you've been kind of quiet, so you can go ahead and give your statements.
Okay, well, I mean, before I even touch any of the exotic like upgrades and such like that, I'm gonna obviously go get the like Hawk Moon, 4th Horseman, all the stuff that's coming to Xbox from PlayStation, like before TDK drop. So obviously, I'm gonna get those before I start, getting all those new upgrades and all that fancy schmancy stuff. But as soon as I get those, the first thing I'm gonna bring is Thorn, obviously for obvious reasons. But the other one is going to be Red Death, and all of that is just. I'm really hyped for that, but there's also some things that is just kind of holding me back from kind of like being super hyped for that specific thing. Like,
But also, if you don't mind me interrupting you, Thorn,
yeah, go ahead.
still going to be a legitimate thing.
Yeah, it's still going to be lurking in the Crucible.
Maybe not in Trials and in Iron Banner though. Maybe
Well,
not.
see, because here's the thing: it's the Thorn and the Last Word are the meta right now. They are the meta of Destiny, but they're not going to be. That's the thing. They're adding so many new weapons. There's more weapons coming in the Taken King than were in vanilla Destiny. Like, so you can't actually assume, and that also means that there's probably going to be more exotics than there are now. And so you can't assume that Thorn is gonna remain. I mean, I'm sure some people will be like, "This is my baby. I can't leave it," so they'll still use it, but they might find that it's not as effective and eventually will leave it.
No, I agree with you, like, for sure. But, like, I also agree that, like, I think that, well, you have to look at some of the exotics, like Red Death, for instance. For me, it's powerful, but I don't think it's, like, like, comparable to Thorn.
It's not competitive, you mean?
No.
Right, but it's still Red Death. So I think that Thorn will still be Thorn, but I think you're right. I think there's going to be more effective weapons in the Crucible.
Yeah. So what about Gjallarhorn? Everyone's
I'm glad.
debate.
R.I.P.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Nay.
Nay.
Rip. Pepperoni.
I don't think honestly, I don't think that Gjallarhorn's going to be a thing, and that's fine.
Here's my input on it. Okay. Exotics in general, like, they came with, like, the original Destiny, and as much as I think Gjallarhorn can be a little too cheesy I guess cheesy sometimes. I still would like to see it every once in a while.
You wanted to.
What?
You wanted to say OP, right?
Yeah. Well, it is. It's like, come on. First week of Skolas Solarburn, what did everyone do?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be the
like,
answer to things. But am I sad that it's not coming? Yeah, I'm about 50-50. Like, would I like to see it? Sure, but I try not to use it just because it gets boring sometimes. But
let me tell you this. Like, I put my Gjallarhorn away, like, for probably about, like, the past, like, 2 weeks, and it's not necessary.
It's not.
It's really not. Like, the what am I trying to say? The Hunger of Crota. It's a powerful weapon.
It is.
And I used that to kill Crota so many times, and Gjallarhorn is not necessary.
Mm-hmm. I got Gjallarhorn probably, like, after I did Crota's End with Hunger of Crota, like, at least 15 to 20 times. Actually, no, I never got once, or not once did I get Gjallarhorn dropped from from Crota's End right at all. The first Gjallarhorn I ever got was from a legendary heavy endgame, and I flipped. I went buck wild.
First time I got Gjallarhorn was my first time jumping into level 28 Prison of Elders. So as you can see, like, I, like, jumped in there. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll open the chest. I get a Gjallarhorn. I'm like, this is the best game mode ever. And then now
you never played it.
Now it's just like whenever I open the chest, it's just like, all right, another her right hand. Okay. Oh, another her benevolence. All right.
But I have a big question, all right, and this one's kind of important to me. If they're going to be nerfing the Gjallarhorn, why are they deciding that they're just going to leave it in year one? Like, why would they tell us that they're going to nerf it if they're just going to not put it in year two altogether?
So we can't melt the bosses.
They want to make it
run through the campaign like we did. We've been doing, actually.
My personal opinion is, because someone did the math, I think, that Gjallarhorn's basically just 2 rocket launcher shots, it would still be effective without the upgrade.
It would.
So, I think just overall they decided to do that, but I don't know.
I think that, when we go into year 2, I think there's going to be a lot like we had talked about before, there's going to be a lot more weapons that are going to be comparable.
Yep. Okay, so do you want to move on to some of the questions that was asked?
Sure.
Yeah.
I will pull those up right now.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me. I'll edit it so I can make this shorter. Okay. The God of War Shader asks, "What's your favorite things about the Taken King?" And this is a question for everybody. So why don't we go in the order we were introduced? So I'll go first. My favorite thing about the Taken King is the new. I've said this a million times on the podcast. Is all the new Crucible stuff that's coming. I'm just so pumped for that.
8 new maps. Well, 7 new maps for Xbox, but 8 new maps. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So JP, why don't you go ahead or Paul
right.
John, why don't you go ahead and tell us?
All right. My favorite thing is probably just gonna have to be the raid. I mean, I've been saying this. Just I love the feeling raids. My group agreed that we're all just gonna go in blind, not watch any Twitch streamers. Sorry, Sean. We're not gonna watch any YouTube videos of how to do anything. We're just gonna jump in and figure it out, which we think it's gonna be pretty fun that way. Just trying to figure out what to do, and that's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lighthouse, go ahead.
Me personally, I have a bunch of things that I'm excited for, but the two that I have to say that I enjoy the most, number one is Banshee Love. Like you can just, you can pick any of the 4 guns, and they're from like Hake or Taki, whatever it is, Omalon, and then they're just like regular old common guns that are new to Destiny, and all you have to do is just get kills with them, and then once you do, you just rank up the gunslinger thing. No, the
gunsmith reputation.
Yeah, gunsmith level.
Okay, I have a question about that. Really quick.
Okay.
Did they say that was going to reset every week?
They did not say anything about that.
The level does actually.
I think so.
Because if you look at the packages, it says requires reputation rank 1.
That would make sense, actually.
So does that mean like as you get kills with those weapons, you see that bar fill up and then it'll reset on Tuesday or Arms Day?
Like Iron Banner, kind of.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
No, that's fine. And then the second thing that I'm kind of hyped for is the Crucible. Obviously, given me of all people, I'm quite Crucible heavy, if you ask me. But the maps, I'm excited for. The guns, I'm happy. I'm gonna be like going buck wild with the guns in Crucible. I don't care what they are. I'll just pick one and go for it. I'll obviously choose the new ones. It'll be a sniper rifle, hand cannon, auto rifle, any of them, and I'll just go in guns ablaze and hope for the best. And then one thing though that I'm kind of like, in my opinion, I'm kind of in the dark with is what's going to happen with the Trials of Osiris. Like, what's necessarily going to happen? Like, are they going to update it? Are they going to add more things to it?
We have a lot of time to figure that out. I think we have 2 reveals yet?
Yeah, we still have, 2 more.
So, we'll see.
All right.
Go ahead,
Fax, you want to go ahead?
All right. What I think I'm excited for the most in the Taken King, actually, would probably have to be every single bit of PvE activity, everything. I'm not a PvP player, and it seems like the last 2 expansions have kind of given PvP players an edge whenever it comes to giving out really good weapons through, like, trials, like the Summoner, even though it's an auto rifle. Better yet, the Messenger, Adept, with, like, a solar burn. You know, PvEers, they get stuff from, crap, I can't remember the name right now.
Nightfall?
By the way,
Nightfall.
the Summoner is going to be a huge...
Oh my god.
And
It's going to be so good.
Well, it's already good right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I kill people all the time.
Yeah. That sounds kind of strange out of context, but we'll go with it.
But yeah, pretty much all I really want is a way for PvEers to get the same good armor and weapons that the PvPers get, because I'm really not good at PvP. Like, Ask my trials teammates. They tell me I suck. I suck.
That's me.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Sean, your turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right,
actually
cool.
is now.
I think the one thing I'm looking forward to is I've had a lot of friends that want to come play this game. And I think it's going to be super easy for them to come play Destiny.
Do you
Year
mean
two.
like just with all the stuff that's coming, or like it's easy to just step into it, or what do you mean? Expand that on that a little bit.
No, I think it's going to be really easy for them to step in, like, year 2, like, because look at what we heard about in the reveal. They can just jump in
Oh yeah, that's true.
and play.
Spark of light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spark
Spark
of Light.
of
I was
Light.
about to call it
Like-
Spark of Light.
I legit have a lot of friends that are like, hey, I've been thinking about playing this game, and I'm not sure if I should do it. Now's Spark time.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I'm glad to be able to play with some of my friends, and year 2 is gonna be fucking awesome, guys.
Amen. All right, so one last thing I want to go. It's a question, and then we'll start closing up here. Anakin Flynn, 87, wants to know, what are your thoughts on swords being a new weapon type?
Oh my god.
Oh. If you guys know me, then you know exactly what I'm going to be doing with those swords. Like, if it comes to...
Here's the thing
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that I thought of. No, go ahead. Like,
Okay, well, okie dokie. Well, firstly, I'm going to go into just a random old Rumbler Clash match as soon as I get those swords. I'm going to be the guy that sits in corners, goes invisibles, and waits for someone to go by, and then just go slash them up, and then
Well-
recede back into the shadows and hope for the best, you know?
Well, remember that it's heavy, so it might require heavy ammo. You can't just use it right
shoot, I
after
forgot
the
about that.
gate.
I got you guys.
How much damage
that's
will
where
they
I
do?
was going
Like,
with
will
that,
they be
by
an
the way.
instant kill, or?
Trials
you
of
could assume they'd be an
Osiris
instant
every
kill.
round, like, do it.
Oh, yeah. I'd be the guy that would do that.
Now,
I'd be bum rushing.
I wonder, like, well, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a straw poll. I don't know if it was more constant who had it, but they're like, what would you rather see, year 2 Galahorn or swords? And
Swords.
people voted swords, and I agree with that. I want to see some swords going, like, brawling up against a fallen captain. You're just like, nope, I have a sword now, and just smacking it. Like, that's awesome.
My sword
Meanwhile,
is
the
better than your
captain's
sword.
just like, what's going
That's
on?
the thing, guys. That's the thing. Like, who needs a Galahorn?
When you have a sword.
Yeah, you have a fucking sword, and you have, like, all these new, like, exotics, and you have all these new, like, specials, and, like, going into year 2, like, the fuck? Like, why do we need a Galahorn? You know?
You don't.
Exactly.
We have swords.
We have swords.
But
All
I
right,
have
so-
two major questions regarding swords. The first one's kind of like simple to answer because if it takes heavy ammo, how much damage do you guys think it'll do? And one more is, I don't know if any of you guys noticed the perks on the arc sword that they displayed, but it basically made it to where solar and void damage were like decreased
Yeah.
whenever you
Yeah, when you block.
blocked with it. I think it's some of those margins like blocking with it.
And that's cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
But arc damage was increased, so I think it'd be really interesting to see, somebody with a void sword try and stop a blade dancer.
And I think that there will be, like, different, like, elementals of swords,
Hmm.
With that being said, I feel like for each different sword that you'd get, that's a different element. Like one would be arc, and then or solar, and then void, and they'd all look different, by themselves. Like
We don't
the
know.
solar would be like fire and such like
Yeah.
that. And Void would be purple and majestic, etc., etc. You know.
Of course.
Yeah,
So I think I already know the vote
Did you
on
say
this.
magenta?
majestic.
Magenta?
Yes, indeed.
So I think I know the answer on this. Swords, yay or nay?
Yay.
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 Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
I think this is kind of bringing us towards the end of our podcast. So, Sean, where can our viewers find you on Twitter?
You guys can find me at Sean Bartley on Twitter, and you can also find me on Twitch at Sean Bartley. Surprise.
There you go, everybody. And you can find the rest of our plugs in the description. Thanks, everybody, for watching our third
You can
podcast.
find me on Tinder at
God dang it.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Like, it's been fun.
Yeah,
Like, talking
totally
about
welcome.
this
Thank you for
game,
being on the
and
show.
We all love this game, and I think it's amazing that we can all get together and talk about this fucking video game together.
This
Yeah.
community is great, honestly.
Yeah.
And I
The
know.
best.
Yeah, I know before the podcast you're like, are you guys serious? But we're just trying to have fun here. Like, this is just a fun thing that we want to do, and we've had so much support. So this is awesome.
Yeah, and I'd love to be back. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you back
Yeah,
on sometime.
We would love to have you back.
cool. All right, guys.
All right, so again, thanks everybody for watching our third podcast. This is Fireteam Osiris signing off.